Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my content predictions for tomorrow's drop here in NBA 2K26 My Team. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about tomorrow's content. I expect nothing but a loaded drop again tomorrow. Will it be as big of a drop as last week? I would love that. I mean, what would be really great, to be totally honest, initially, would be if they would drop a couple more of those non-hidden gem diamonds, a couple more of those non-hidden gem amethysts. They dropped a Dylan Harper. They dropped a Jeremiah Fears. It was cool to see some of those guys implemented. Obviously, Cooper Flag was the first non-hidden gem pink diamond as well. So 2K showing that they are willing to go outside the box a little bit and not just drop hidden gem cards. I would love to see the hidden gem concept completely removed next year, in my opinion. Replace it with something else rewarding. In my opinion, like, you can have definitely different reward cards and grinds and things like that, like the trophy case. Make that better. You know what I mean? Things like that that are actually grinds earlier in the game instead of hidden gems for cards that are going to come out later in packs. I think the surprise of new cards is kind of part of the excitement. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The hidden gems concept has some cool stuff to it. And It's nice to get some cards that aren't sitting in the database, though. A Dylan Harper. That was an exciting surprise to wake up to on Friday last week. He was a beast. He is a beast. He's really good. And I just think a lot of people would like more cards like that. So I'm hopeful we see some of that. I don't have predictions for what those cards would be exactly. Maybe next week I should go and figure out, make a list of the non-hidden gem diamonds, like the types of names that don't have hidden gems that could be good diamonds. Because, like, I bet a lot of the young NBA guys, for example, would make a lot of sense for that. They could put in a diamond of all these different young NBA studs. And I think there could be a lot of cool cards. I hope we continue to get moments content as well. That's one other thing I will mention. That being said, the honest truth is the amethyst hidden gems are pretty close to dry at this point in terms of high level ones. Corey Brewer is awesome. I hope we get him this week. Who else here is good, though? You know what I mean? Like, Jonas Jerebko has a great jumper. Tony Snell's okay-ish as a 3 and D. Grievous Vasquez is tall. I don't think he's actually particularly good. His defense is bad. Scoot Henderson's fun but undersized. I don't know. A couple of these other cards might not be the worst cards in the world. Like Fareed, I thought was good, but he's not that great. Terrence Jones is not horrible. The honest truth is that there's not very many great ones left, though. I mean, the only great one left is Corey Brewer, to be totally honest. And so I'm hopeful that we're going to see some more amethyst non-hidden gems for sure. That would be really, really nice. We saw, I believe James Jones was also a non-amethyst, a non-hidden gem. Honestly, I know Thornton was. Buddy Hield may not have been. Zubac may not. They seemed like they introduced several new amethysts. I think Zubac was, but I think a couple of the amethysts were non-hidden gems for this week, which is pretty nice. I know all the diamonds were hidden gems, I believe, except for Dylan Harper. But again, I hope that we get, again, some non-hidden gem options there too. The amethyst, that's really important, though, to be honest, because there's just not that many good amethysts left. There are a lot of good diamonds left, though. Michael Richardson, Kwame Brown, Rex Chapman, Bruce Bowen, Matas Buzelis, Dyson Daniels, Jaime Jaquez, Luol Deng, even John Isaac's decent. Gallinari, Reeves, Rocco, DeJounte. Honestly, Reeves is the same card as his free card, except he can play point guard, which the free one should have been able to. That's annoying. If y'all drop some moments cards, make sure they can play their positions, please. MCW's awesome. Danny Green, Asar Thompson. Well, Asar's not great. Castle's really good. RJ Barrett and Brandon Miller are decent. Larry Nance is solid. There's some good ones still. Again, mix in some variety. Add a new one or two. That'd be awesome. But drop a couple of the good ones here. And then if you got to throw in a couple bad diamonds, I get it. Like, if you're dropping 5 or 6 diamonds, I mean, how many diamonds did they drop last week? If they drop 7 diamonds, 6 NBA players, I'm fine with 2 of them sucking and 1 of them being mid. As long as 2 of them are good, 1 of them is pretty solid, I'm happy. You know what I mean? This last week, Dylan Harper was really good. 1 really good diamond would be awesome. And then a couple of solid good diamonds that can help a lot of people's teams. But when you drop a Dylan Harper, a Jaren Jackson Jr., guys like that, Andrew Wiggins, really good diamonds that can help people's teams for a while, those are the types of cards that I want to see more of. You know what I mean? I hope 2K does drop more of those types of guys. And yeah, drop a Dyson Daniels, drop a Michael Carter-Williams, drop a Stephon Castle, drop a guy who's going to be, I know they just gave us a point guard, so maybe that's a little ahead of themselves potentially to give us another one, but there aren't really any great bigs left, you know what I mean? Unless they drop a surprise big, an exciting big, somebody, I mean, Kwame's decent, but he's not amazing. I don't know. Not super impressed with the diamond options, to be honest, at this point, besides the point guards. Like, most everybody has Bowen. Buzelis is really good. I think Buzelis would be a neat one. I know I have him on my Pro Money Spent, but for a lot of people would love to have Buzelis. He's 6'10", switchable, quality small forward. I think if they drop Buzelis, that would be a cool one to drop. And again, like, I mean, there are definitely, like, we could totally get a diamond Ace Bailey tomorrow. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be a fire card? He's what? I think he's not as tall as we thought he was, but still, an Ace Bailey card would be really cool. They dropped Dylan Harper last week. Give us an Ace Bailey. They're mixing in some of these young guys. Igor Damon got a card this week. Give us some of those guys from the draft, some of the young guys who are playing well around the league. I would love to see that type of content sprinkled in. And again, Moments content as well would be freaking awesome. Like, I'm not expecting a Moments Luka, but he's been playing out of his mind. We've had a lot of good performances as of late. So, I don't know. Just keep on mixing stuff. I don't know. Con Knuckle doesn't have a card yet. He's not quite as exciting. I think Maluach would be really cool if he could shoot a little bit. People would love a diamond Maluach. I know he hasn't played a ton. Derek Queen's cool. He's like Jokic light. I think some of those guys are neat. But I don't know. We'll see. They have a lot of options, but they don't have that many diamond cards left. It's interesting because they don't have that many diamonds. They don't have that many amethysts, which makes me think they're going to start mixing in more and more non-hidden gem players. Maybe that was the plan. I'm not entirely sure what their plan is, but that's kind of what it seems like. The pink diamonds. Don't think they're going to... I mean, they did go away from it with Cooper Flag last week. I still don't think they're probably going to go away from it this week. They have a lot of big names here, and at some point, they are going to go to Opals. I don't think it's going to be this week. I probably, at this point, don't think it'll be till the start of Season 3. But I'm not sure. It could be this week. I don't think it will be, but I'd be a little surprised. There are a lot of good pink diamonds left. D-Rob, Ron Artest, Big Z, Danny Granger, Grant Hill... Josh Smith probably this year because his jumper's probably better. Terry Dishinger and Rudy Gay both awesome. John Wall's a fun PG. KP would be a monster. Dirk's decent. Page is really good. LaMelo's solid. Kyle Korver's solid. I guess Russ kind of. Connie Hawkins is a beast. So is Zach LaVine. I'm sure I'm missing a couple names as well. There's another Braun. We'll probably get that card in Season 3 once Opals come out. He'll be like a filler, but like an extra Braun. They'll sell a little bit of packs because of that probably. Lonzo, obviously, is really, really good. Luke is a fun name, but his card's not that great. Cade would be awesome, as would be Kareem. Yeah, again, and then there's a bunch of names I'm not even naming that would be like really, really good cards sprinkled throughout here. So they still have realistically 4 or 5 more weeks, I feel like, of top name pink diamonds, even ignoring all the cards that are good but not massive pack selling names. And I think 2K probably, again, is going to want to more often than not put a lot of those big names as the headliners. When pink diamonds are the headliners, then they'll sprinkle in. There will still be good cards. I'm not super concerned about there not being quality cards, and I'm sure they'll add some non-hidden gems to spice up some drops as well later on in the year, but they want to use their biggest names now. And to me, that means, well, they just get dropped a really good big with Hakeem, but I think we get another one, and I think we get a PG too. They dropped Cooper Flag, they dropped LeBron. Who else did they drop last week? MJ is a shooting guard, obviously. A lot of wings. Cooper Flag, LeBron, MJ. The week before that, you get Harden as a guard, I guess, but even he's a shooting guard. And then KD, like a lot of wings. We're definitely getting a PG, and I know we got Hakeem last week, but there's a lot of good bigs left, and one of them's coming. And I'm shocked he hasn't come out yet. I feel like it's this guy right here, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's the center we're getting. We'll talk about the point guard in a second, but I think the center is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 7'2", 97 offense, 99 defense. His jumper's actually decent this year. I feel like he can be decently consistent from 3, and he's going to be an absolute monster on the inside. One of the better bigs in the game for sure. 88 speed. He's basically a worse shooting, bigger, and better inside Joel Embiid / Hakeem Olajuwon, realistically. Very, very good card. Will he be able to shoot enough for people to feel confident putting him on the floor? I think a lot of people will. To be totally honest, I will probably get this card on my Flare AI account if he comes out. Reem is going to be a freaking monster. That's all I can say. I think he's going to be an unbelievable slipper. I think he's going to be a decent popper. I think his spot up ability is not going to be terrible. I think he's going to be a really, really good card. And then finally, we're going to get a point guard is what I said. Cade Cunningham. That's my prediction. NBA season's going on right now. Cade's a stud. He's having a great year so far. He's one of the bigger names at the point guard position in the game. They could drop Alonzo. They could drop a LaMelo. They could drop Zach LaVine. They have several names left, obviously. But Cade is playing really well right now. So is LaMelo, to be fair. But I think Cade's a little better in 2K. And their fans probably know that. They'd sell a little more packs with Cade, probably. Realistically, 2K knows that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Elite shooter, solid slasher, pretty decent defensively. He's another Devin Booker, Shea, Penny, in that group of PGs with the top 3 or 4 point guards in the game. Even Dylan Harper's kind of close to that. Cade Cunningham's another one of those guys. A really good PG. He would be a pack seller to a certain extent. And good jumper, good escape, I think. Assuming he has Kemba, which I don't know if he does. Last year he did. Not 100% sure about his SIGs this year. Either way, would be awesome. And I think Cade and Kareem are 2 headliners that would be really, really solid cards to drop for this weekend. And again, that's kind of my predictions. Hopefully they surprise us with some sort of extra non-hidden gem card or something extra to grind this weekend would be super cool. Again, more moments content would always be nice. He's got Trey Escape and Kemba Dragback. Cade's going to be a beast. That's going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.